Hey guys, this is Elias with Softfly, and today I'm going to show you how to import JetEngine Custom Fields directly from Google Sheets. Now guys, the first step is go here to Google Sheets. So I'm going to click on the Share button, and I'm going to change the general access from restricted to anyone with the link. Next, I'm going to click on the Copy Link button, and go here to WPL Import, click on the Download a File button. From URL, paste my URL here, and click on the download button. Alright, so with this, WPL import already has all of our data. So next we're going to select the post type we want to import, which in this case is properties. And we're going to create new properties for each record in our data file. Now I'm going to continue to step 2. And here in step 2, we just need to double check that our import file is looking good, that all of the rows WPL import is detecting is the right number of rows you have in your file, where each row is a property. So this is looking good. This is the exact number of rows we have, and this is the data we're going to get imported. So let's just continue to step 3. And here in step 3, I'm going to start dragging and dropping stuff to whatever field I want those elements to go. For example, I want this property name element to be the title, so I just drag and drop that in the title box. Now I'm going to drag and drop the description. Cool. And then for the images, I have two elements here. I have this image featured, and I have the gallery. Now, the gallery, we have it created with JetEngine, so we're not going to get that imported in the images section. Here, we're only going to use the image featured, and we're going to make sure this option right here is enabled. This is the one that says set the first image to the featured image, right? So that's what we want. Let's just preview and test this. All right. You can see here the little preview. And if I hit the run test button, you can see WPL import has attempted to download this image, and the attempt was successful. So I'm going to dismiss this and continue with our import. Next, we have here our JetEngine Add-On section. So I'm going to enable my field group. And you can see here all of the fields contained in our post type. Right, we have a great variety of fields. So let's start with the first one, which is map address. I have that element here. Cool. Then short address. And here we have this date first listed element. So if I click on it, you will see this date picker shows up, and you can select a value directly from here, right? But that will mean that this exact date is the one that's going to be attached to all 105 properties. This is not what we want, because in our import file we have an element that we want to use. So I'm gonna delete this, and I'm gonna find my date first listed element, drag and drop that there, and there you go. With this, WPL import will import this dynamically, and it doesn't really matter which date format you have in your file, as long as it's within the PHP accepted formats. WPL import will be able to read that and translate that to whatever JetEngine is using, right? So let's just move on. Then we have here this availability field, and guys, you can select a value from here directly, and WPL import will just import this same value into all of these properties. But if you have an element in your file with this data on there, you can select set with expert and just drag and drop the value like so, right? Now I'm gonna do the same with the listing type. All right, cool. And price, great. Now here for the amenities, same situation, guys. You can select the value from here, but all of the properties will have the same ones. So let's find our amenities in our import file, and as you can see, we have this separated with commas, right? Which, if I hover on the question mark, it's the same that the amenities field tells me, that if I want to import multiple values, I will need to separate those values with a comma. So I'm gonna drag and drop that here. Cool. And guys, if for some reason your file doesn't have the right structure, or maybe your file may have all of these values separated with pipes or semicolons or whatever, you can maybe write a quick PHP function here, right? So you can change that on the fly. And if you don't know how to do that, you can check out our website at wplimport.com, click on the docs menu, and you will find a lot more info on how to run PHP functions there. For now, let's just continue. We have here our a square foot element, so I'm going to drag and drop that. Then bedrooms, same, set with XPath, and drag and drop that. Cool. And here we have a repeater field, which is this rooms element. Now I want to show you how this looks here in the post edit page. I have here my repeater at the bottom, and as you can see, I can add multiple sub items, and all of that items have 3 subfields in them, right? It has name, measurement, and description. Now we can get these kinds of fields imported in WPL import using the JetEngine import add-on. Now we could import this one of 2 ways. We have the fixed way, which is useful when you have a fixed number of repeating elements in your import file, right? But this is not the case. We have here our elements, name, measurement, and description. And as you can see, this one has 1, 2, and 3 rooms in the property. And they are separated with pipes. And it's the same structure, guys. Here we have the first measurement, and it's separated with a pipe, second, and so on and so forth. And same with the descriptions. Now, if I go here to the next record, you will see we have more rooms in here than in the other property, right? So this is a variable number of repeating elements, and as such, we need to select the variable CSV because we're importing a spreadsheet-like file, right? Because this is Google Sheets. If we were importing an XML file, we will need to use the variable XML. So let's just drag and drop the fields like so: name, measurement, and description, and we're going to make sure that the separator character is the one we're using, which in this case it is, right? But you can change that to whatever your file is using. And then I'm going to ignore blank fields. Now, if I hover on the question mark, it says if the value of the element or column in your file is blank, it will be ignored. Use this option when some records in your file have a different number of repeating elements than others. Now, this is our case, so I want to keep this enabled, right? Then we have here our gallery element, so I'm going to drag and drop that. Cool. And we can't quite see it here, but we need to define a separator for our gallery, right? So here is our gallery content, and as you can see, the URLs are separated with pipes. So this is the element we need to use here, right? Pipe, and with this WPL import will be able to separate all of these images, right, and unload them correctly. Now I'm going to enable this option that says search through the media library for existing images before importing new images, and I'm going to match those by URL. Now what this will do is prevent WPL import from downloading duplicate images. If WPL import finds an image that already exists in our site, it will just use that image instead of creating a duplicate one. Now I'm going to do the same with the floor plan, right? It's right here. And I'm going to match that by URL too. And lastly, I'm going to drag and drop the agent name, the phone, the email, and the link for more details field. Now with this, we have covered everything in our JetEngine add-on. You can see that we used different kinds of fields, and you can import all of those with WPL import and the JetEngine import add-on. Let's just wrap this up and import our taxonomies. I have here my tenure and my property of the week, which is here. Cool. Now these options, we're gonna just skip them, but as I mentioned before, guys, you can use PHP functions here and run it to pretty much do whatever you want with your import data, right? Just check out the other videos in our channel or go to our website at wplimport.com to know more. Now, if even after that you're still having a little bit of trouble in any of the steps I showed you before, guys, just don't worry about it and contact our support team. We will be more than happy to help you out. Now I'm going to continue to step 4, and here we need a unique identifier. Now this unique identifier is basically a way WPL import has of telling one record apart from the other. Because if WPL import thinks there are 2 records that are the same, well, it will just update those instead of creating 2 separate records, which is what we want. So usually a good unique identifier is an ID or something like that that's truly unique for each record in the data file. But if you don't want to overthink this too much, just click on the auto attack button and you should be good with that. Now I'm going to skip all of these settings, right? They're pretty much self-explanatory, so if you read them, you will know what they do. But you can also hover on the question marks, and it will give you a brief description of what those options do, right? lastly, we have here the scheduling options, and guys, this is pretty cool because say you need to run this import automatically every single day, because maybe your provider is updating your properties or the status of them or whatever, and you always need to have the latest data in your site, right? Well, you can schedule this using one of two options. The first one is the easiest one because you can set that up here on WordPress. So if you want to run this every single day, you just enable all of these days and set up a time, for example, 12 a.m. And this is a paid service, guys. It costs $9 a month, but it will allow you to just set up that very easily here, and WPL import will run every single day at this time and have your data just updated, right? You can even remove some stuff that it's missing from the file. If you want to know more about that, you can click on this YouTube icon and a video will show up with more info on that. Now, you don't need to actually subscribe to this service. You can also schedule your imports using cron jobs, but this is a little bit more advanced. And if you have questions on this, you can click on this link and it will take you to our docs on that. Now, for this example, we're not going to do any of this, so I'm just going to continue and run my import. Now, this is going to take a minute or two, so I'm going to pause the video here and come back when it's ready. Alright guys, so WPL import is finished importing our properties, so let's check them out. Alright, so we have 105 properties, which is great. This is the number of properties we expected. Now, let's just take a peek here in the front end of the site where we have this beautiful website, and here you go. Here are our properties. Now let's just open one up, see this one. And as you can see, we have here our images, so that's pretty cool. That's always a good sign. Cool. Then we have here our title, the bed, short address, bath, square feet, price, the availability, and listing type. Then we have our map address, maps, description, the amenities, the rooms repeater, and the agent information. So let's see how this looks here on the post edit page. And here we have map address, short address, date first listed, and all of the other fields seem to be here too. Here we have, of course, our rooms repeater, and all of the data is looking good. Same as the taxonomies, feature image. Then we have here the media tab with the floor plan and the gallery, and the contact tab. Now guys, that's it. That's how you import JetEngine Custom Fields directly from Google Sheets. Now, if you want to know more about how to import or export other JetEngine fields or data, you can always check out the other videos in our channel or go to our website at wplimport.com. Same if you're using Metabox or maybe ACF to handle your post types and custom fields. You can do that too with WPL import and WPL export. For now, just thank you for watching and see you next time.